The predator only looks powerful until it realizes the prey it's chasing is wrapped in armor it can't pierce. Let that sink in for a moment, chosen one. Imagine being hunted by something that believes it's unstoppable, something that thrives on fear and control. But the second it lunges at you, its claws slide off like water against stone. That's what your life is. You are untouchable, not because you fight harder than anyone else, but because the universe has sealed your path with a shield no enemy, not even the top demon, can break. Now imagine this for a moment, chosen one. A lion goes after what it thinks is an easy kill, only to discover it has pounced on iron. The lion doesn't just lose its appetite, it begins to fear. That's what happens when forces of darkness attempt to corner you. They expect you to be fragile, but instead they hit a wall of protection they never saw coming. And here's a fact for you. Throughout history, every culture, whether ancient warriors or modern psychologists, has agreed on one thing. Some people carry a rare energy so powerful that danger avoids them, even when they walk straight through the fire. You are one of them. That isn't a fantasy, it's reality. And thank you, chosen one, for being here right now. Don't forget to pay this message back by simply pressing the like and subscribe button to help spread this light to more souls. It's our responsibility to spread the truth so more chosen ones wake up to their own unshakable strength. And thank you, chosen one, for being part of this mission. You are not just a listener, you are part of a force. Now, back to our topic. Chosen ones, you need to understand why even the strongest enemy trembles when it comes to you. It's not that life spares you from battles. In fact, you've probably faced more storms than most people around you. You've seen betrayal, jealousy, manipulation, and hate come at you from every angle. And yet, somehow, you're still standing. That's no accident. The universe designed your destiny with barriers that no dark power can cross. It's like walking with an invisible armor. No matter how close the enemy gets, they're kept at a distance, burning with frustration because their attacks never land the way they hope. Think about how many times people wanted to destroy your spirit. They spread lies, they whispered doubts, they tried to strip you of your confidence. Yet every attempt backfired. Instead of breaking you, those attacks only revealed who you are, someone chosen, someone marked by resilience. The more they tried to corner you, the more they exposed their own weakness. Because here's the truth, when darkness collides with unbreakable light, it's always the darkness that retreats. Enemies hate this. They don't hate you just because of who you are. They hate the protection they can't touch. Imagine standing in front of a locked vault, knowing treasures are inside, but every tool you use snaps in half. That's the frustration your enemies live with daily. They scheme, they plot, they dream about your downfall, but when they reach for you, it's like trying to grab smoke. They come away with nothing, while you continue to rise higher. That drives them insane. And chosen one, this is why you must never confuse being tested with being unprotected. Yes, the storms rage, yes, the shadows try, but nothing penetrates the shield around your destiny. The universe sealed it long before your enemies even noticed you existed. That's why you've survived situations that others would have collapsed under. That's why you've walked out of battles with scars, but never in defeat. You are proof that protection isn't always about avoiding the fight. It's about walking through it untouched at your core. Think of electricity. You can see it, feel its power, but if it's grounded, it won't harm the one it surrounds. That's you. You carry a grounding so deep that even the strongest surge of negativity can't burn through you. And that scares the forces of darkness more than anything. They can't control what they can't touch. They can't defeat what refuses to fall. and they can't explain why you keep shining when they've done everything in their power to dim your light. So, chosen one, take this as your confirmation. No matter who rises against you, no matter how big the threat may look, their power is limited when it comes to you. Even the top demon, the very embodiment of fear and destruction, has boundaries when it comes to your life. The universe sealed those boundaries, and nothing they do can break them. That's why you keep surviving, why you keep rising, and why your enemies always leave empty-handed. And that's the real beauty of being chosen. It's not about living without challenges. It's about knowing that every challenge was designed to make you stronger, while your destiny remains untouchable. You are walking proof that unbreakable protection exists, and every time your enemies realize they can't touch you, they're reminded of the truth. They're not as powerful as they thought. You are. So, chosen one, before we move any further, I want you to take a second and let this sink in. If even the top demon can't touch you, then nothing in this world can block what's already sealed for you. That's the kind of protection you carry. And I want you to do something powerful right now. Drop the number 777 in the comments if you know your path is locked by the universe with unbreakable protection. That's your signal that you're standing in your truth, that no enemy, no shadow, no hidden hand can rewrite your destiny. And let me tell you this, when you make that declaration, you're not just typing a number, you're speaking it into reality. You're reminding yourself that your life is covered, guarded, and beyond reach. And chosen one, stay with me, because the deeper we go, the clearer this truth will become. You'll feel it in your chest, in your bones, that shield around your life getting stronger with every word. So let's dive into it, step by step. And believe me, if you are truly chosen, you'll feel the pull to stay until the very end. Now, let's get started. Number 1, you're operating on a signal demons can't even pick up. An enemy can't destroy what it can't even detect. Remember that, chosen one. This is where your real power lies. Your soul doesn't just live on a higher level, it vibrates on a frequency that their claws can't reach, their eyes can't see, and their ears can't hear. That's why they rage, why they plot, why they break themselves trying to break you. Because to them, you are like static noise, out of range, untouchable. Now imagine this for a moment. A thief walks into a bank, ready to crack open the vault, thinking he knows every lock and every code. But when he gets to your vault, he finds it doesn't even respond to his tools. His crowbars bend, his codes fail, and his hands bleed against steel that won't budge. That's you, chosen one. They come with every trick in their arsenal: fear, doubt, manipulation, jealousy. But when it comes to you, their weapons collapse in their hands. They can't even register your essence because you are vibrating on a completely different bandwidth. And here's a fact that most people overlook. Scientists have proven that energy and frequency shape how reality responds. Just like a radio station, if you're tuned to one channel, you can't hear what's playing on another. Dark forces are locked into low channels where fear and misery play on repeat. But you're broadcasting on a station they don't even know exists. They can spin the dial, but they'll never land on you. That's why you don't get consumed like others do. That's why their traps don't work. They're listening for your downfall on their static-filled channel, but your song is being played somewhere they'll never reach. So when they ask themselves, why can't we stop this one? Why doesn't the fear work? Why doesn't the poison spread? The answer is brutal. They don't even have the technology to pick up your signal. They are primitive compared to the frequency you operate on. To them, you're a ghost they can't grab, a shadow they can't trace, a light too blinding to approach. They look at you and feel powerless, and nothing crushes them more than realizing their entire arsenal of destruction doesn't apply to you. And maybe you've noticed this. You walk into a room and people start acting strange. Some grow restless, some get jealous without reason, some even avoid eye contact altogether. You might wonder why. It's because your energy exposes them. You don't even have to speak. Your presence alone makes their darkness uncomfortable. To them, you're like a mirror they didn't ask for. You reflect back everything they've been hiding, and they can't handle it. That's why they whisper behind your back. That's why they scheme in the shadows, because face to face, they don't have the strength to engage you directly. Chosen one, let me tell you this, they can't touch what they can't perceive, and perception is everything. Demons, enemies, low vibration forces, they depend on finding weakness, on exploiting fear, on attaching themselves to pain. But you've outgrown their playground, you've leveled up so high that their games don't apply anymore. It's like a chess player showing up to a soccer field. You're not even playing the same sport. They hate it. They hate that you exist outside of their reach, and every time they try, every time they fail, they are reminded that they are small, fragile, and beneath the power you carry. You might ask yourself, but why me? Why am I the one they keep trying to attack if they can't even reach me? And here's the answer. Because your very existence exposes their weakness. You remind them of what they can't have. You remind them of the higher frequency they will never touch. It's not that they can harm you, it's that they can't stand watching you glow while they rot. Your untouchable nature is like salt in their wounds, and your victories scream in their ears louder than their failures ever could. Think about it like this. Imagine a snake striking at glass. It sees you, it wants to bite, it lunges with venom dripping from its fangs. But no matter how many times it strikes, the glass never breaks. That's your energy shield. That's your frequency barrier. They can hiss, they can coil, they can strike. But at the end of the day, they tire themselves out against walls they cannot penetrate. And you keep moving forward untouched. That's why you've felt so different your whole life. That's why people couldn't understand you, why you were set apart even when you tried to blend in, because you were never meant to be caught in their net. You were meant to vibrate beyond it. It's not isolation, it's elevation. And elevation is the reason even the top demon looks at you and says, "Not that one. I can't." So, chosen one, don't mistake their attempts as signs of weakness in your shield. Their attempts are proof of how untouchable you really are. If they could touch you, they would have done it already. But the fact that you're still here, breathing, glowing, untamed, is proof that your signal is higher, your path is sealed, and your destiny is beyond their reach. And that's what terrifies them the most. Not just that you're protected, but that your very existence is a daily reminder that there are souls they cannot own, destinies they cannot rewrite, and lights they cannot dim. You are not just out of reach, you are proof that their reign has limits. And in a world where darkness thrives on control, nothing is more humiliating for them than being powerless against you. Chosen one, remember this. Your soul vibrates on a channel they will never decode, and every time they try to touch you, they only expose how weak they really are. So stand tall in that, walk boldly in that, because your untouchable frequency isn't just your protection, it's your revenge. Every failure of theirs is a victory of yours, and every time they walk away, confused and powerless, it's another reminder that even the top demon can't touch you. Number 2. The universe signed off on your destiny, and no demon can rewrite it. An enemy can scream, fight, and beg, but the ink on your destiny will never smudge. That's the truth, chosen one. The most brutal realization for your enemies is that your life story was finalized long before they ever tried to pick up a pen. The universe sealed your path in permanent ink, and no matter how desperate they get, there is no eraser, no loophole, no renegotiation. To them, that's a nightmare. To you, it's freedom. Now imagine this for a second. A crooked lawyer storms into a courtroom, ready to twist the law, ready to bend the rules. But when it comes to your case, he finds the contract is stamped in fire, signed in a language he can't even read, sealed with a lock he can't open. He slams the table, he throws his books, he screams that it's unfair, but still he walks away powerless. That's how demons feel when they try to tamper with your destiny. They arrive with plans, but the universe already stamped the verdict. Untouchable. And maybe you've asked yourself, if my path is sealed, then why do these attacks keep coming? Why do I still feel pressure, envy, and betrayal around me? Here's the brutal truth. Attacks don't prove weakness in the contract. They prove the contract exists. The fact that they keep trying to knock you off balance is evidence that you are locked into a plan they can't stand. They're not fighting to change your destiny. They're fighting to distract you, to make you doubt it. But distraction is not destruction. They can cloud your vision, but they can't alter the road beneath your feet. Your enemies hate you because the universe already said yes where they wanted a no. Let that settle in, chosen one. That's the real source of their rage. They wanted the spotlight, but the universe wrote your name on it. They wanted the seat at the table, but the universe carved your initials into the throne. They wanted to rewrite your script, but the ink was already dry. That's why they gossip. That's why they betray. That's why they burn with envy. Because deep down, they know the ending is not in their hands. Think of it like this. Imagine a chess player sitting across from you, smug and confident, moving their pieces as if they're in control. But what they don't know is the game was rigged before it even began. The outcome was pre-written. Checkmate belongs to you. No matter how clever their strategy, no matter how sneaky their moves, every attempt only leads them closer to their own defeat. That's the frustration they feel when they try to come against you. They aren't playing a fair game. They're playing a game they were destined to lose. And here's another quote that tears at their pride. Your destiny is a locked vault, and every enemy holding stolen keys will die in frustration. That's exactly how it works. They think they've found the trick to access your blessings. They think their jealousy, their lies, their schemes are the master key. But when they shove those keys into the lock, nothing turns. They rattle the door until their hands bleed, while you keep walking forward untouched. That's what eats them alive. You keep advancing while they waste their strength on doors they were never meant to open. You may wonder, but what about the pain I've gone through? What about the times I felt crushed? And here's the answer, chosen one. The contract doesn't protect you from storms. It uses storms to shape you. Every tear, every betrayal, every setback was already accounted for in your destiny. None of it rewrote the plan. It only confirmed it. The universe didn't seal you off from struggle. It sealed you off from destruction. The battles weren't designed to break you. They were designed to build you into someone the enemy fears more every single day. Imagine this. A blacksmith heats raw metal in fire, hammers it with force, and plunges it into water. To the untrained eye, it looks like violence, but to the blacksmith, it's creation. The blows don't ruin the steel. They strengthen it. That's what your contract looks like. Every attack that was meant to crush you only hammered your soul into unbreakable steel. The fire didn't consume you. It refined you. And that is what the demons can't accept. Because in their twisted world, pain is supposed to end people. But in your world, pain polishes you into something stronger than before. Your enemies are not fighting your weakness. They are choking on your protection. This is why they hate you so viciously. They can't destroy you, so they try to distract you. They can't break your contract, so they try to convince you it doesn't exist. But let me tell you, chosen one, every sleepless night they spend plotting against you only adds to your elevation. Every ounce of energy they waste trying to ruin you gets recycled into fuel for your rise. Their attacks are like waves crashing against a mountain, loud, dramatic, destructive-looking, but at the end of the day the mountain remains, unshaken, untouched, immovable. Imagine this again. A storm rages over an ancient tree. The lightning strikes, the wind screams, the rain pounds the ground. Yet when the skies clear, the tree is still standing, its roots even deeper, its branches stretched wider. That's you. The universe designed your roots so deep that no force can uproot them. The storms don't erase you. They remind the world how strong you are. And your enemies. They watch in horror as every storm they hoped would destroy you only made you more unshakable. So, chosen one, never forget, your destiny is not up for negotiation. There is no clause, no hidden fine print, no expiration date. The universe sealed your path in a way that terrifies the darkness, because they know they cannot edit, amend, or cancel it. They can scream, they can bite, they can throw every trick at you, but at the end of the day, their battle is with a contract they'll never have the authority to touch. And here's the final quote to leave etched in their minds. The greatest defeat for darkness is realizing the chosen one's story was finished before their attacks even began. That's the truth they choke on every time they come against you. You don't just carry protection, you carry proof that their power has limits. You are the living evidence that the universe always wins against destruction. And as long as you're walking in that contract, chosen one, you remain the nightmare they can't wake up from and the light they can't ever put out. Number 3. Darkness trembles when you see through its tricks. Manipulation only works on the blind. Once your eyes are open, the game is over. That's why chosen ones terrify demons. Their entire existence depends on shadows, on slipping lies into your mind without you noticing. They don't have real strength. Their only weapon is illusion. But the second you start recognizing the pattern, the second you begin to say, "Wait a minute, I see what's happening here," their entire structure crumbles. They thrive on keeping people asleep, but you are wide awake, and that alone makes you untouchable. Now imagine this, chosen one. A magician puts on a show, dazzling the crowd with tricks. Cards disappear, coins vanish, rabbits jump from hats. The audience gasps in awe, but then one person in the crowd sees the wires, the mirrors, the sleight of hand. Suddenly, the magic dies. The tricks don't work anymore because the illusion has been exposed. That's you. The world may fall for the lies of manipulation, but your eyes cut through the smoke and mirrors. You don't gasp in fear. You smirk because you know it's all fake. And here's a fact that crushes them. Studies in psychology show that manipulation always loses power once it's identified. Gaslighting, deception, control, they all crumble the moment someone recognizes the tactic. That's why awareness is your deadliest weapon. Your awareness isn't passive, it's an active sword. Every time you say, "I see what you're doing," you slice through their grip. And that terrifies them, because without deception, they have nothing. You might ask, why do they keep trying if they know I can see through them? Because your awareness exposes their weakness, and that burns them more than defeat itself. They want you confused, doubting yourself, lost in their fog. But instead, you stand like a lighthouse, clear, steady, impossible to deceive. Your awareness doesn't just shield you, it blinds them. They can't control what they can't trick, and when their schemes fail, they're left naked, powerless, and furious. Chosen one, this is why demons fear you. Your truth destroys their illusion. Your clarity shatters their control. And your awareness is the one thing they can never mimic. The moment you see through the trick, the magician is just another man fumbling with props. And to them, that's worse than death. Number 4. They lost the war before they even picked up a weapon. The cruelest defeat is not losing the fight. It's realizing the fight was lost before it ever began. That's the reality your enemies choke on every day. Chosen one, from the very moment your path was sealed, your victory was already stamped into existence. The universe wrote the ending long before the first attack was launched, and no amount of scheming, no amount of clawing at you can undo that. That's why their rage burns so deep. Because every move they make only confirms their defeat. Now imagine this. A boxer walks into the ring full of confidence, fists clenched, sweat pouring, ready to take you down. But what he doesn't know is that the scorecard was written before the first bell. Every punch he throws lands on empty air. Every swing drains his strength until he realizes he's fighting a ghost. That's what your enemies experience daily. They're not just fighting you, they're swinging at inevitability, and inevitability always wins. Here's a fact that cuts them even deeper. History is full of battles where the victor was determined before the first shot. Armies with overwhelming force, wars where the strategy was sealed long in advance, outcomes no enemy could shift. That's you. Your life is not a gamble, it's a guarantee. When they plot against you, they're waging a war against a destiny that cannot be rewritten. And every failure reminds them that the universe chose you, not them. You might ask, if my victory was sealed, why do they still attack? Because their pride refuses to accept what their spirit already knows, that they've lost. They swing anyway, like desperate gamblers throwing their last coins into a broken slot machine. They scream, they claw, they dig trenches in wars they will never win. But all it does is drain their energy while you continue to rise untouched. Chosen one, understand this. The outcome has never been in question. You were untouchable from the very beginning. Their efforts are wasted, their strategies pointless, their rage nothing more than noise against the armor of destiny around you. The battle wasn't just over before it began. It was never a battle at all. It was a performance staged to reveal their weakness and your inevitable victory. And that's why even the top demon can't touch you. Number 5. Darkness breaks under the weight of your authority. Power doesn't beg to be respected. It forces respect the moment it enters the room. That's why demons crumble when you step into their space. Chosen one, you don't just survive with protection, you move with authority. There's a difference between being shielded and being sovereign. Protection keeps you safe. Authority makes the enemy tremble. You carry a force that doesn't just block darkness, it dismantles it. Now imagine this. A wild animal snarls and prowls around a village, fearless, attacking anyone it pleases. But then a lion steps into the clearing. Instantly the beast backs down. Not because the lion attacks first, but because its authority is undeniable. That's you. The very weight of your presence makes the shadows scatter. Demons don't leave because they choose to. They leave because they cannot breathe where authority reigns. Here's a fact most overlook. In nature, weaker predators avoid stronger ones instinctively. Hyenas will circle a carcass, bold and loud, but the moment a lion approaches, silence falls. They don't argue, they don't fight, they disappear. That's what happens when you show up. Enemies that looked bold from a distance suddenly grow silent, uneasy, and restless. Your energy is a reminder of a power they cannot mimic. And maybe you've asked yourself, why do certain people suddenly act nervous or hostile around me? It's not about you being rude or intimidating. It's about the authority you carry. Darkness recognizes strength before humans do. The jealousy, the hostility, the whispers behind your back, they are nothing but side effects of authority pressing down on them. You don't need to speak it. Your very presence declares it. Chosen one, authority is what makes you untouchable. Protection keeps the blows from landing, but authority makes sure the blows are never thrown in the first place. You don't chase demons, they flee from you. You don't argue with lies, they collapse in your silence. That's dominance, not defense. And that's why even the top demon can't stand in your presence, because your authority isn't borrowed, it's built into you, and the moment you step forward, their only option is retreat. Number 6. Your energy burns fear before it can touch you. Fear is the oxygen of demons. Cut it off, and they suffocate. That's why chosen ones remain untouchable. Darkness survives by feeding on trembling hearts, but your energy is like a firewall. It stops their poison before it even reaches you. Fear may knock at your door, but you never give it a seat at your table. And that refusal alone destroys their entire strategy. Now imagine this. A thief approaches a house expecting unlocked windows and weak doors, but when he touches the handle, fire shoots through the lock. He jumps back, scorched, unable to get in. That's what your energy does. Every attempt to invade you, to trick you, to make you collapse in panic, it all gets burned at the gate. They can circle the house all night, but they'll never get inside. Here's a fact that shakes them. Studies show fear weakens the immune system, clouds judgment, and creates vulnerability. That's exactly why demons love it. But when you refuse fear, when you walk with calm certainty, you've removed their weapon entirely. They can't manipulate someone who doesn't flinch. They can't drain someone who doesn't panic. Your inner stillness is their greatest defeat. And maybe you've asked, but what about the moments I do feel fear? Chosen one, feeling it is not the same as feeding it. Fear might knock, but you don't serve it dinner. You breathe, you center, you stand tall. That is what terrifies them. The fact that even when fear whispers, you don't bow to it. Your energy is more than protection, it's dominance. Demons thrive in chaos, but your calm is like a firewall of light they cannot cross. Every time you choose clarity over panic, every time you stand firm instead of running, you remind them that their tricks are powerless against you, and that's why even the top demon can't touch you, because you don't just carry protection, you carry a firewall that burns fear before it even reaches your soul. Number 7. Their eyes give away the terror they can't hide. Control breeds confidence, uncertainty breeds fear. And chosen one, you are the definition of uncertainty to demons. You don't walk in circles they can track. You don't play by rules they can predict. That's why the fear in their eyes is real. It's not imagined. It's not exaggerated. It's raw terror, because they know you are beyond their script. Now imagine this. A seasoned chess master sits across from an opponent, confident, smirking, convinced they know every possible move. But as the game unfolds, they realize they're not even playing chess anymore. The board has shifted into something unrecognizable. Their strategies collapse, their confidence cracks, and sweat runs down their face. That's exactly what happens when demons face you. They've mastered deception, manipulation, and fear with ordinary people, but you are not ordinary. Your moves are unreadable, your steps guided by something higher, and they hate it. Here's a fact that stabs their pride. Predators rely on patterns. In nature, wolves track prey by predictable routes to water. Break the pattern and the predator starves. That's what you do, chosen one. You break every cycle they set up. You don't react how they expect. You don't crumble on cue. You don't give them the easy satisfaction of fear. And it terrifies them because unpredictability means power. And maybe you've wondered, why do they look at me with such unease? Why do their eyes give them away? Because in their world, they are used to control. But when it comes to you, they are always 2 steps behind, chasing a shadow they can't pin down. Their fear leaks through their eyes because deep down they know they cannot win against what they cannot understand. Chosen one, remember this: their fear is your confirmation. It's proof you're operating on a level they'll never reach. They can try, they can scheme, they can circle you like vultures, but their eyes will always betray the truth. They're out of their depth, trembling behind the mask, because you are the storm they cannot calculate and the light they can never extinguish. Number 8. Your mission is bigger than their chaos. Chaos only wins against those without purpose, but when destiny fuels you, chaos burns out. That's why chosen ones remain untouchable. Your life isn't random. It's tied to a greater mission, and that mission comes with a peace that darkness cannot penetrate. Demons thrive where people are lost, scattered, and chasing distractions. But you walk with clarity, and clarity is lethal to their schemes. Now imagine this: a storm tears through a village, ripping roofs, flooding streets, scattering debris everywhere. Yet in the middle of it stands a lighthouse, tall, unshaken, its beam cutting through the chaos. That's you, chosen one. Your destiny anchors you so deeply that no storm can uproot you. Instead of crumbling, you shine brighter, guiding others while your enemies break themselves against your foundation. Here's a fact: psychology shows people with strong purpose experience less stress, recover faster, and resist fear more than those drifting without direction. That's why your enemies panic. They try to shake you, but your mission absorbs every blow and turns it into fuel. The harder they push, the more resilient you become. It's like trying to start a fire in heavy rain. It doesn't matter how much spark they bring, it fizzles every time. And maybe you've asked, why is my peace so threatening to them? Because peace is proof of authority. Most crumble under pressure, but you remain centered. That calm isn't weakness, it's dominance. It shows them their chaos holds no power here, and that burns them more than any confrontation ever could. Chosen one, your destiny is more than survival. It's a mission that exposes the weakness of every dark force. They can scream, they can claw, they can hurl storms at you, but their chaos collapses against your peace. You are living evidence that when life is tied to something greater, no demon, no shadow, no storm can stop it. And that's why even the top demon knows they cannot touch you. Number 9. Your name echoes where darkness dare not tread. Power isn't always seen, it's felt. And when your name is spoken, even in unseen realms, it carries thunder. That's why chosen ones are feared before the fight even begins. Demons don't just stumble into your life blindly. They already know who you are. Your name carries weight, and that weight crushes them. To whisper your name is to taste dread, because they understand one truth: to touch you is to destroy themselves. Now imagine this. A criminal circles a house, eager to break in, but when he checks the address, he realizes it belongs to someone under federal protection. Instantly, he freezes. Not because the house looks strong from the outside, but because the name tied to that house makes the risk deadly. That's what happens with you. Your name is marked in ways the human eye can't see. The moment they plot against you, they sign their own defeat. Here's a fact that deepens their fear. In every culture, names carry power. Names are reputations, signals, frequencies. Some names are forgotten, others are feared. And yours? Yours shakes through spaces you've never even entered. Demons don't fear you because of what you look like. They fear the weight behind your name, the authority stamped on it by the universe itself. And maybe you've wondered, why does my presence provoke reactions from people who don't even know me well? Because your name precedes you. Energy recognizes energy. Darkness feels the burn before you even speak. To them, you're a walking warning sign. And the truth is, they know messing with you is suicide. Their whispers betray their dread, their schemes betray their desperation, and their silence betrays their defeat. Chosen one, let this settle in. Your name is more than sound. It's a signal, a mark of untouchable destiny. Demons don't avoid you out of respect. They avoid you out of survival. Your very existence reminds them that some souls are stamped off limits, carrying authority they will never overcome. And that is why even the top demon dares not lay a hand on you, because your name itself is their death sentence. Number 10. Your light turns their shadows into a graveyard. Darkness doesn't die by force, it dies by exposure. That's why demons can't stand you, chosen one. They thrive in hidden places, in whispers, in the fog of lies. But when you walk into a room, you drag the shadows into the open. You don't even have to try. Your very existence is a spotlight that leaves them squirming, revealed for what they really are: weak, hollow, and fake. Now imagine this. A cockroach crawls across a dark kitchen floor, bold and comfortable in the silence. But the second a light switch clicks, it scatters, scrambling into cracks, desperate to hide. That's demons in your presence. They puff themselves up in the dark, but when your light shines, their confidence evaporates. They don't flee because they want to. They flee because they have no choice. Here's a fact that wrecks them. Psychological studies prove people who live in denial avoid truth-tellers because truth forces them to face what they've been running from. That's why enemies can't stand being near you. Your clarity exposes their manipulation, your peace reveals their chaos, and your strength highlights their weakness. To them, you're a mirror they didn't ask for, a mirror they can't escape. And maybe you've asked, why do people I barely confront act guilty or nervous around me? Because your light makes hiding impossible. You don't have to accuse them. The truth they carry inside comes crawling out at the moment you're near. Your presence is like a torch in a cave. No matter how deep they hide, the shadows are forced to retreat. Chosen one, understand this. Your light isn't gentle to them. It's lethal. It strips them naked, shows their tricks for what they are, and leaves them powerless. Demons feed on secrecy, but you've robbed them of their only food source. That's why they scatter. That's why they whisper. That's why they dread you. Your light doesn't just protect you, it destroys them. And that's why even the top demon can't touch you. Number 11. Your existence alone is their defeat. Some battles aren't fought with fists, they're fought by existing. That's why you, chosen one, are a nightmare to darkness. You don't have to shout, you don't have to argue, you don't even have to engage. Simply breathing, simply walking into a space is a rebuke to every demon watching. Your life itself screams resistance. Every heartbeat says, you failed. And that alone dismantles their influence. Now imagine this, A dictator stands on a balcony, barking orders, flexing power, demanding fear. But then, in the crowd, one person refuses to bow. They don't raise a fist, they don't shout back, they just stand tall, eyes steady. Instantly, the dictator's power cracks because their entire empire is built on compliance. That's you, chosen one. Your refusal to bend, your very presence, collapses their illusion of control. Here's a fact. Oppression thrives when people conform, but the moment one refuses, the entire system trembles. That's what demons face with you. They rely on silence, on obedience to fear, on people submitting to lies. But your essence says no. You are a living contradiction to their nature. Where they spread chaos, you carry peace. Where they breathe lies, you radiate truth. Where they feed on fear, you stand unshaken. And maybe you've asked yourself, why do I feel hated without cause? Why do some seem threatened just by me being there? Because your existence challenges their survival. Darkness cannot stand beside light without shrinking. Manipulators can't function around someone they can't deceive. Cowards can't thrive near someone immune to fear. Your very presence rebukes them, and that burns worse than any confrontation. Chosen one, this is why you are untouchable. You don't just carry light, you are the rebuke to everything dark. You are proof that their reign has limits, proof that their tricks can be exposed, proof that not everyone bows. And that truth is unbearable to them. Every step you take is a reminder of their weakness. Every breath you take screams their defeat. And that's why even the top demon knows your very existence is their undoing. Number 12. Your mission summons a force they can't fight. An army doesn't fear the soldier, it fears the reinforcements standing behind him. That's the reality of your life, chosen one. You're not walking alone. You're carrying an assignment, and with that assignment comes reinforcement that darkness can never overcome. Every step you take is backed by a power that clears your path, blocks their traps, and turns every setback into fuel for your rise. That's why no matter how hard they push, you remain unbreakable. Now imagine this. A lone warrior stands on a battlefield, enemies circling, laughing at what they think is an easy victory. But as the dust clears, an army emerges at his back, hidden until the moment it was needed. Suddenly, the enemy's confidence collapses. That's your life. They see you as one person, but what they forget is that your mission summons a force they cannot see and will never be able to fight. Here's a fact. In every great movement, the individual wasn't the true threat. It was the backing, the momentum, the reinforcements behind them. That's why demons fear you. Your assignment means you're never moving in isolation. You are surrounded, supported, fortified in ways they can't touch. They may try to block you, but the harder they fight, the more the universe turns their schemes into stepping stones. And maybe you've asked, why do I always escape traps I never even saw? Because reinforcements were already clearing the way. The pit they dug becomes their own grave. The stone they roll toward you crushes them instead. Your destiny is protected not just by defense, but by active forces, ensuring the story unfolds exactly as it should. Chosen one, that's why you're unstoppable. You're not just surviving, you're advancing under a shield that darkness cannot crack. Every attempt to derail you only strengthens your mission. Every attack only fuels your purpose. Your very existence screams to them, you are powerless against this assignment, and that's why even the top demon knows. When you walk, you don't walk alone. You walk reinforced by a force they will never defeat, And so, Chosen One, you can see it clearly now. Every attempt to stop you has already failed. Every shadow has already scattered, and every plot was destroyed before it could even touch you. You are untouchable, sealed with unbreakable protection, walking proof that even the top demon cannot lay a hand on your destiny. And thank you, Chosen One, for standing in this truth with me. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, drop the number 77 in the comments to confirm your power, and share this message so more Chosen Ones awaken to the strength they carry.